Alrighty, guys, gals, whatever. Made a few changes. People were getting confused with the summer indicators for Trading Axis. Visually changed a few things also. We're gonna take a look at the new setup for you, and we will go from there. Try to simplify things. Some people just quite weren't getting it, and they were taking some ridiculously bad trades. So the first thing you're going to want to do is from this is download the indicators that are listed on the forum, add them in, and then we will go through each one at a time. Let's make sure I have all my templates set up. Okay, so start off with, let's go to the indicator list. I'm going to skip over ones that aren't changed. Version 2 and 3 of the arrows, you just want to make sure that in inputs it's 5-1 on both. So arrow 2, arrow 3, so you can see I'm the same as y'all, 5-1. Next, B clock modified, that's just the clock here. You might have a different one that's something white. Doesn't matter. I'm using price display. I'll post that up there. Okay, the first one that's going to be different is gray reg channel. It's replacing the cog. Just for color purposes, I like it a bit more. Really, it's aesthetic. It does the same thing, but there was one change that's going to be on it. The KNL Dev 3 needs to be 2.618. By default, it's going to be 3.618, I believe, which gives us a wider range. Since we're trading smaller ranges, we're going to tighten that up. That's what you're currently set to in Trading Axis. Regression color 1 needs to be changed to white. Everything else will stay exactly the same, so make sure, take a look at the screen. Regression color 1, white, KNLDEV3, 2.618. Other than that, stays the same, don't mess with it. Auto pivot, you have it already, but just in case you didn't, you have it already, so don't worry about it. Prime levels, V1 black, this is the prime numbers here, prime numbers here. This is a new one. This is what's going to create this right here. I'm just going to give you the actual file this time, screw encoding it. I'm done with the encoding shit. This creates the arrow and the little line right here. Next one is going to be something called fractal dimension. It is what you see right here, this little line. Let's go into the settings for that. Inputs 14.0, 1.5. What you're going to need to do is go into levels and delete the level out. So again, E period 14, E type data 0, E random line 1.5. Okay, once that's set, it's gonna, when you put it on your chart, it will look like this. I don't care about the curves or anything, so squish it down as much as you want. You just need to be able to see green or red. Indicator list, let's go back. Last one's vCustom 3, no changes there. We're running 6 and 8, just like in the standard TA setup. Okay, so let's get into how do you use it. It's pretty simple, just like before. Let me zoom in a bit real quick so y'all can see. My mouse is misbehaving. Alright, so what are we looking for a trade? If this is green, we need to go through colors real quick because I reversed some colors. Indicator list. On DDFX 3, BB stop 4, let's go into colors. You need your colors, red lime, red lime, red lime. That's going to be not even the same as what it is, but just go red lime, red lime, red lime. Okay? And for fractal dimension, we are going to go to colors, red lime. And I changed the width to 2 because I think it was 1 when I originally got it. Change it to 2, red line. Okay, now our colors are good. Let's take a look at the chart. What's a good trade? What's a bad trade? So let's to make this as simple as possible, we're looking when it, not a TA trade, but a V2, V3 trade. Have to come up with some cute name for that. We'll maybe hold a contest or something so you can get a name for it. But here's what we're looking for. So here is our line. We get a green call dot. So that's going to set off an alert. When you jump to the chart, the next thing you want to look for is it green above? Is the green below? If it is, then you have a valid trade setup. So let's go through this. And look, valid trade setup. As we move along, we get another alert. Not a valid trade setup. The last rule we're looking for, and why I had you turn the regression line white. You see the center line? We want price to be below it. If possible, the candlestick to not even be touching it. If it is touching it or above it when you get an alert, no good. I'll show you one that was kind of an iffy one here in a second. Okay, so let's go through and check what we got. Okay, so first alert, we get looks like a 2 and a 3. So if we look, we jump to the chart. If we look up, the green line above is green, and below it, we're green. That means we do have a valid trade. Do not give a shit about anything else. That's all we're looking for a freaking setup on these. Overbought, oversold, that's trading axis. Daily pivot, trading axis. Everything else, trading axis. Throw it out the window for now. What you are going to pay attention for is you don't want to be in a freaking waterfall. Avoid your waterfalls. I still have to add Bollinger Bands back on this. I'm still doing the final setup, but this way you can add it in. Let's move along. Our next one, we get a 2. It is green above, down below it's red, and we pass. Next one, we get, again, green above, red below, pass. Even though it's a nice, strong upward, we pass. Other thing, I mean, okay, we're just going to stick to the rules. I'm not going to go any further than that. I'll explain later. Next one, we get green above, green below. This is where I say it's iffy. Price was touching the white line. Preferably, we don't want price to be touching the white line. We do want it to be below the white line. So that's going to be a use your own judgment call. If there's other reasons you can line up with it, and I know this is going back to trading axis type, but if you have an iffy here, look for another reason. Don't just jump in, or just, I mean, there'll be enough trades. Just ignore it. Let's jump to a couple charts, take a look at them, and see what we get. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a green 2 and a 3. Price is touching the center line, so we'd want to ignore it. And down below it's red. We'd want to ignore it. Nothing else there to take a look at. Next chart. Let's go. Let's zoom in a bit again. See what we got. Okay, we get a 2 and a 3 alert. We have green above, green below. Good to go for that trade. Now, remember, this trade might have been a little bit difficult because price was moving up and price came back down. You want to be at the lowest point, so this would have been a very difficult trade. Most likely, you would not have been able to get into it. And if you did, you probably would have popped a loss. Let's see, AUD USD, that's a live one. Oh, we're on it right now. Okay, so AUD USD, we get a red 2. Above it, we got a green line. Below it, we got a red line. Not a valid trade. It is above the center line, so it meets everything but the red line here. Tells us no. Oh, I'm sorry. The green line here tells us no. Not a valid trade. Move on to USD JPY. Let's zoom in there, see what we got. I'm just going to run through each one of my charts, guys. By the end of this, you should hopefully understand the concept. Moving along, we get a green 2. Barely below. It is below, but it's not touching center line. So above it we have green, below it we have green. We do have a valid trade. Price was moving up on this one, so that does mean the next candle would have been, again, this is where your entry is going to be difficult on these, because this is going to give you some where price isn't moving down. It's going to give you an upward moving candle. Entry on those is going to be tricky, so be careful. If you don't think you can do it, pass on them. Let's go to the next one. We have a 3 and a 2, green and green. That means we can, but where's price? Right on top of the freaking center line. That would be a pass for me, so pass. Next chart. Let's take a look at what we got. Let's get this alert the hell out of the way. You're going to be missing a few trades, guys, using this, but I've been seeing people take some really crazy-ass shit, so hopefully this will help. So here we get a green 2. Above it's green, below it's red. Indicator list. Let's load this up. So pass, red pass. Down here we get green, barely green, not touching the center line. So this one would have been an okay trade because it was green right on the edge. You wouldn't have seen this red yet. All of you would have seen is that it's a green candle, so you would have been able to get on that one. Next, we switch to red, so we're looking for anything up here. We have nada, so skip that. Okay, this is our next one. This is AUD JPY. Let's take a look at what we got here. Nothing, nothing, nothing. We get green here. We are green on the above. We're green on the below, but price is above the center line. Definitely a no trade. Even though it was a win, no trade. Remember, guys, we're trying to cut down on the ITM, so this might have worked this time, but next time it won't. We're not going to get 100% off this yet. I've been hitting 70 to 80% with it, depending on the day. First day with Markets World, though, I was freaking in the 50s to 60s because I kept taking 1-minute trades, so if that's been you, don't feel bad. Okay, so moving along, we got green. We get our alert, green candle. This is going to be another tough one. Green below, green above, and a red candle next. So again, entry. You don't want it at this end. Same principle as TA. You want price as low as possible. And let's see, anything else on this one? Nothing on that one. Let's move to the next one. AUD, NZD. Zoom in so you can see it. Okay, so AUD, NZD, we have not a damn thing. That one's been burning my ass this week anyway, so good. Okay, so next chart. Blah, blah, blah. This one, green 2, above green, below red, pass. Plus, look at that range. It would have been hell anyway. We're coming out the end. This is the end of the day trade, so it's kind of flat. So that pretty much sums it up, guys. If you have a question, let me know. I will post this to the whatever you want to call it, to the God, I can't even think today. I'll post this to the forums with the indicators you need so you can jump on it and get ready. I got someone babysitting my daughter, so I have a few minutes. All right, guys, any questions, hit me up, and I'll go ahead and get this uploading.